I suffer with PTSD, and normally people refer to PTSD as being something involved in a war hero. Someone's had an incident in a war. I'm not. I had an accident at work, and I chose to ignore what was going on around me, and I didn't do anything about it. And that manifested itself after quite some time, to the point where I could no longer function as a normal human being. I started to self-medicate, and again that had its own consequences, because using alcohol to take away the pain didn't work. I did want to go down the route of counselling, but at that point, going through COVID is what a lot of people would recognise. It just wasn't an option. So I chose the wrong thing. I chose alcohol, and then rather than having one issue to deal with, I had two. After a period of time, I wanted to try and seek help, and it became more available because COVID and lockdown finished. It then became apparent that I couldn't get the help because I had the addiction problem. So I went down the route of how do I get rid of that so I can get the counselling. Once the alcohol problem was out of the way, which did take a little bit of time, come back to the situation where I got involved with Steps to Change, and an amazing counsellor there called Russell Lee. Thanks, if you watch this at all. After about 12 sessions, and I had 20 sessions with Russell, after about session 12 we started to get involved in social exposure. So it's part of getting over my PTSD to get me back into society. And he recommended that maybe I should have a word with a social prescriber. Now, I'd never heard of social prescribers, but I was quite into what Russell had done, and the things that I'd done with Russell, and the effect and the change that it was having on my life. So at that point I was prepared to go along with whatever Russell would suggest, and I'm so pleased that I did. The whole prescriber piece for me came across as if it was going to be a prescription. Okay, and a lot of people's concepts of prescription, and mine would be as well, that if someone's going to give you a miracle cure, here's a tablet, take that, and you're going to be absolutely fine. And of course that's not the way at all, is it? It just doesn't work that way. So that was an original concept. Vic, my social prescriber, soon put me correct on that. And the thing that I found, the most important thing, was that I realised quite quickly that I'll only get out of this what I put into it. So I'm working with another human being, and that human being is not going to know what I need unless I can tell them that and put my point across correctly. And not only what I want from it, what I don't want from it. Because it is a two-way street, isn't it, at the end of the day. But no, Vic's been absolutely amazing. I didn't know what to expect from it, but what I did get from it was a hell of a lot more than I was anticipating. We had 12 sessions, which was most important, and the first one was on the telephone. So again, I didn't know what to expect. First phone call, a lot of trepidation. Of course, having anxiety anyway was, what am I going to get from this? What's it going to be like? It's going to be a lot of forcefulness on me. Vic was brilliant. He was very, very open, very laid back. We just had a great conversation. She asked me the kind of things that I did previously, what I enjoyed doing. And one of the things that I mentioned to her was I used to do triathlons. You wouldn't notice it by looking at me now, in this shape. But I used to do triathlons, and was quite disappointed at the time, because we first met, or we had the first conversation in September, and I just started getting out of the house to go swimming. Now, believe it or not, at that point, Spalding swimming pool was flooded. Now, it does sound like a joke, but it's not. It did have a serious downpour. The basement got flooded, which is where all the electrics were off the pump room. And it was out of action for a couple of weeks. So really, really disappointed. Just started swimming, couldn't do it. I mentioned it to Vic, and within an hour of our first conversation, she came back to me. She found somewhere that I could go wild swimming. And that really changed my concept. That really switched me on. It was just like, wow, this is amazing. If she's going to do that quickly, this is going to be the start of a really good journey. Even to the point of knowing that I'm suffering with anxiety. We met here in this bookshop, and there's a cafe here. You can probably just hear it in the background. And at the time, that noise, believe it or not, was quite poignant for me, because I suffer with PTSD, and it's the sharp noises that you can hear in the background of cutlery and pottery. It replicates the noise that I experienced when I had my accident. So being here was quite difficult. So being aware of that, we sat in the corner and I faced Vic and she faced out, and I couldn't see anything behind me. So she was very mindful of the fact of my experience at that time. And it worked well. It worked very well, and it was quite difficult, the first one. But it was well worth it. And once I knew I got past that, coming here and my love of books, it was getting me out of the house. It was absolutely fantastic. Couldn't want for any more. And one of the next things that we discovered, obviously, once I said to Vic, I love being around books, this is fantastic. I've always wanted to spend more time reading books and getting myself into literature. I was never very good at school. I was always more mathematical. People seem to be more mathematical or into literature. And I was always good at maths, not blowing my own trumpet, but rubbish, definitely, at English literature. And I wanted to discover more about writing. I wanted to be able to communicate better and develop my vocabulary. And this has given me the opportunity to do that. So coming here was great. One of the things that Vic did when we came here, she introduced me to the bookshop owner, a lovely lady by the name of Sarah, massive heart, and she runs a book club here on the first Monday of every month, normally there or thereabouts, sometimes it changes. And it's a massive group turns up, 20 odd people. And it's really quite good actually, because you're getting different views. We select from a group of 4 books the next lot of reads that we're going to do the next month. And then we report back on our findings on them. And it's great to actually hear different people's views, whether they're the same as yours or whether you're completely polarised. So getting that, and of course, for me, it's more about social exposure. I'm getting to meet more people, to be able to deal with more people. It might come across that I'm confident in this video. I don't know if it does or it doesn't. But ultimately, you know, I do feel anxiety still, but Vic has helped me in every step of the way of getting past that. And if I can give back anything, you know, I just love to give that back to other people, because the help is there. I just don't always know how to reach out and get it. Oh, bundles. Absolutely vast amounts. Things that I didn't even know. I mentioned to Vic about I wanted to do something with my hands. I've got some problems with my hands. I had another operation the other day. So I wanted to do something with my hands to feel more connected with my dexterity, because I've always worked with my hands before. I'm not a great thinker. So I thought about making models, but I don't just want to make a model at home. I want to be able to do something with a purpose. And I suggested something like a model railway club. Lo and behold, before I've even got home, I got an email. She's found a model railway club. It's just like, wow, is there anything this girl can't do? You know, absolutely amazing. So, with an open mind, went along to the railway club. It wasn't for me, but the thing that I found when I went there was everyone there was so receptive. It was absolutely amazing. I didn't have the first clue of what I wanted, but these people were willing to give their time and help me. And of course, then I've come back and said to Vic what my experience was like. And now she knows full well, if she sends somebody else, what their experience is going to be. And it occurred to me at that point, okay, if things don't work, I shouldn't take it as being a failure, but I can draw upon that and make a success for somebody else. And that is really part of who I am. I want to be able to give to people as much as I'm getting back. So, brilliant. And there's anyone that needs to go to a railway club, sporting railway club in Pinchbeck, fabulous, get yourself there, because it is a great group of people. And the knowledge that these guys have got, absolutely amazing, and the detail and the attention to detail, crazy. I didn't even know there was that much involved, but lovely to know and lovely to experience. Definitely come in with an open mind. Don't expect to be given the choice of a blue pill and a red pill and everything works. It doesn't happen that way round. The reality is, the more that you put into this, the more you're going to get back out of it. The more open and honest you are about yourself and about what you would like to get from it, again, the more you're going to get out of it. And I always think that there's three types of truth in life. There's the truth that you tell other people, there's the truth you tell yourself, and then there's the truth. Yeah? Just tell the truth. Be yourself, be as open as you can. Have a fabulous experience with your social prescriber, because every social prescriber that I've met, and I've met a few now, Sade, and I've met Lynn as well, and they are fabulous people, and they are warm, receptive, open people that are there to want to give you the best experience going. And I have definitely had that best experience, and I certainly hope it's come across in this video, and I hope it does help other people, because you are in for a fantastic ride. I have been, and I'm so envious of anybody starting this journey again today, because this is my last session with Vic, so I am quite sad for that loss, but I'm also now glad that I've got the tools and I know how to carry on and move on from this point. But I read in a book recently that certainly inspired me. It's called Chicken Soup for the Soul. Okay, and there's a story in Chicken Soup for the Soul where a teacher gives out ribbons to her pupils, and it's to say how much they've motivated them. Okay? And Vic has motivated me, so I can't give her a present, but the most certainly what I can do is award her with a ribbon to say that she's motivated me, and to give her more ribbons that she can pass on to people that have motivated her.